Hi, welcome back to Talk of the Town. Here to share the importance of preparing your child for school beginning on day one, Executive Director Terry Sassman and Board Member Matt Richardson of Born to Read. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good morning, it's great to be here.
Good morning. So when did Born to Read begin and what actually is the mission, Matt?
Well, Born to Read began over 10 years ago, and the mission is to present an opportunity for early literacy to children and to mothers in the hospital right after the children are born. And it's a group that's very active here in Beaufort County and in Jasper County now.
And so the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends parents read with their children beginning at birth. So does Born to Read partner with these local pediatricians to reinforce that message, Terry?
Yes, we do. We're starting a program right now with some local pediatricians, especially those that are involved in the Reach Out and Read program, that they're reinforcing what we're already going in and talking to the mothers about at the beginning of birth, right after birth, and we're partnering with them so that we can supply books and information to parents, especially in that first 6 months of the child's life, and then the Reach Out to Read program begins at 6 months and goes through 5 years.
Wow. So what currently are the needs of the Born to Read program and how can the community help?
Right now, as a nonprofit, we always need funding, so we're always grateful for people who are contributing to us in that way. We also do a lot of book donations. We take books into the hospitals that we pay for, but we also like to provide extra books into the doctor's offices that we're working with, as well as to siblings. So we're always in need of new books that we can take and distribute to the families and make sure that children are starting a new library at home.
Right.
But we also need volunteers to come and help us with our mission, to go into the hospitals and talk to these moms and help us to spread the word about the importance of starting that reading beginning at birth.
So this is more of an education process for the parents,
Exactly.
mothers,
Yes.
fathers, caregivers to realize the importance of reading to that child beginning day one,
Exactly.
from the time they're born, and to continue that habit through you're saying through 5 and even actually
And beyond,
past that.
right.
Right.
So what do volunteers get, I guess, out of their visits with the parents in the birthing centers?
Well, they typically find it a wonderful experience. It gives them the chance to do something, to teach the parents something that is usually a love of theirs. And how many of us have grown up, and raised our children with them on our laps and reading, and it's such a wonderful time. It's amazing how many people have not had that experience themselves growing up. And so to be able to bring that and help these parents to learn to read to their children, to give that gift to their children, and also the gift of bonding with them,
Right.
has been just wonderful. And the volunteers, we've had volunteers that have been working with us since the beginning of the program and are very dedicated and stay with us because they get so much joy out of what they're doing.
Oh, I bet. So what kind of feedback does Born to Read receive from, I guess, the mothers, the fathers who are actually visited, the ones that, are visited in the hospital by your volunteers?
Well, typically we get wonderful response from
Oh,
them.
yeah.
I actually had one father who was in a room when I was in there one day, and he said, I was planning on singing to my baby, but I hadn't thought about reading. But I get wonderful responses, and people were just so grateful for somebody in the community who is concerned about that process, and that the children begin so early, because the hope is that if they begin early and it becomes an instilled habit,
Right.
that by the
Right.
time they get to school,
Yeah.
they'll be ready to pick up those books and learn themselves how to read and enjoy
Certainly.
that, and that will carry on through their school
Certainly,
life.
and I think it makes it so much easier for those children as well to have that habit instilled in them at birth.
Right.
Both of my children were born at Beaufort Memorial, and I remember well each time the Born to Read volunteer coming in and doing the presentation and talking to my wife. And we've since read to our boys, and they love books. It's wonderful
Yeah,
to see,
it
and
is
I think in
wonderful.
large part to Born to Read. It's very nice.
That's wonderful. So once a parent is visited in the hospital, what type of follow-up does Born to Read actually, what are you able to do?
Well, we follow up for 15 months with quarterly newsletters. And then we try to get books into their hands. We have our Facebook page now that's new within the last year, and a new website that also has additional resources that parents can find on there. We partner with the libraries, so we help to make sure that we direct our parents to do the wonderful programs at our libraries as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. So all this information will be on the screen, and we thank you so much for what you do. And
Thank you.
You know,
It was a
such
pleasure.
Thank you for the chance to be
absolutely
here.
very important. Thank you, and we will be right back with Talk of the Town.